Welcome, wrestling fans, to the inaugural episode of the Wrestling Bardcast. I'm your host, Bard, and today we're diving into the squared circle like never before. This isn't just a podcast. It's a journey into the heart of professional wrestling. From monumental matches to jaw-dropping storylines, we're here to break it all down, hold nothing back, and, well, of course, talk about what's new in the world of wrestling. So, grab your favorite steel chair, or just your headphones, because we're kicking things off with two massive events for our premiere episode, because, well, we're going to be talking about the Netflix premiere of Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and NXT New Year's Evil. Is WWE's streaming debut a game changer? Did New Year's Evil deliver the high-stakes action we've come to expect? Well, let's find out. Alright, now that our introduction is over, we are finally ready to get into the first ever podcast, or, as I like to say, Bardcast. So, my name is Bard, and the way that I like to do this is I want to talk about just professional wrestling. I want to be able to talk about Monday Night Raw, NXT, Friday Night SmackDown, PLEs, maybe even get into some AEW, New Japan, some NWA, etc., you know? I want to break down the overview, the content, give my opinion, maybe what other people are thinking or saying as well, just things like that. So I think how I kind of want to start things off is let's talk about the Monday Night Raw premiere on Netflix. Oh boy, this one's so loaded because Netflix ran great. There was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't, I think the only thing that was bleeped out was an F-bomb by either The Rock or Pat McAfee when the show was starting. That was it. Now, as we were talking about the show starting, the opener, what did we start with? Well, we started out with the final boss, The Rock returns. Or so we thought. He came out with his goofy belt, the People's Champ. Okay, the Goosebumps, we could see them on Netflix. We definitely could. He came out, we're expecting, or at least I was expecting, him to go a little bit into Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes. And, well, he didn't disappoint. Well, or did he, right? So he came out and he basically acknowledged Cody Rhodes and said that he has put this company on his back for the past year. He said that he acknowledged Roman Reigns, and he didn't really bring up anything about Solo Sikoa, which was kind of interesting, right? Now, literally 1 year ago, less than a year ago, right? Let's see. The Rock would come in after the Royal Rumble. Cody would say, okay, you can take on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. The fans revolted. They're like, no, we're not into that. So, we're fast forwarding now. It's January 6, 2025. Cody Rhodes has spilt his blood against The Rock. The Rock has pinned Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has dethroned Roman Reigns. Fast forward, we're almost a year later. The Rock is now singing Cody Rhodes' praises, going backstage, drinking tequila with Cody Rhodes. Like, we'll discuss this a little bit more when we talk about NXT New Year's Evil, because The Rock got a little bit more into final boss mode for the next night, because I feel like he had to do some recon for what he did on Monday Night Raw. It just wasn't the final boss, it was corporate Dwayne Johnson coming out for the Netflix premiere. Which, I mean, I'm all fine and cool with that, but we gotta keep some kayfabe, brother. Come on now. And then as we are going away from the Rock segment, then we went to the first match of the night, which was Tribal Combat. Now, I was kind of thinking about this. We've had Roman and Jay in Tribal Combat, and I want to say the WrestleMania tag team match last year was Tribal Combat as well. I could be wrong about that, however. So, the way that the Bloodline match rules, it's basically just a no DQ match. There's really nothing else that happens. You can use weapons, there's interference, and really there's no rules. Now, one big thing that happened in this match that intrigued me, that was like hoping Solo was okay, was that powerbomb spot through the table. Roman Reigns dropped Solo a little early. The table did explode, but that was a little bit early on the break, and I know I was watching it and I was like, oh man, is Solo okay? Because as soon as he went through that, it just did not look... Well, going through a table is going to hurt regardless, but it just didn't look right. And then the Jacob Fatu getting stuck on the table, so he didn't hit his super kick right away, so he had to go uppercut, super kick, then hit his Impaler DDT. I mean, I loved that, right? And then them just getting the table out of the ring, things like that. Like, it was just a cool moment that we got to see from them being able to interact. Then I believe we got to see Sami Zayn and Jimmy, the return of Jimmy Uso from his broken toe, come on down to the ring. And they got to fight them off, get them away. Roman Reigns kicks out of a Samoan spike. They just keep it rolling, right? Then as the progresses through, we see Kevin Owens come on in, Cody Rhodes come on down, which this confused me. The Rock did his call out. Cody Rhodes was in the stands, like 5th row back, right? I did not love that. I did not love that Cody Rhodes was out there. I was okay with The Rock if that was what The Rock going to do, come out and acknowledge Cody Rhodes. Cool, whatever. I did not like seeing the WWE heavyweight champion of the world sitting front row. It's just, I know he's a SmackDown superstar on Raw, things like that. That just did not sit right with me. Like, just don't have him be out there and have him come do the spot. Kevin Owens attacking Roman, sweet. Which, funny enough, because Solo also screwed Roman, but here we have Kevin Owens coming to the rescue of Solo. Whatever. Cody Rhodes comes out, beats down on on Kevin. Then Roman ends up hitting the spear. 1, 2, 3, defeats Solo, right? That is about it. Then The Rock comes in, and he's the one that ends up putting the Ulafala onto Roman Reigns, acknowledging him as the tribal chief. They do their little handshake mabob that they like to do. They did that last year. They do that again. I was totally expecting either a rock bomb to Roman or a spear / Superman punch to Dwayne. Like, that's what I was expecting. I'll just be honest with you guys. But the way that the crowd was hyped for Roman Reigns doing the ooh-wah, things like that, the crowd was going hyped. Like, all the celebrities already that they haven't shown, that they will show here in the future. Like, they were just going crazy. Roman Reigns right now could be the biggest babyface in the WWE. I'm not sure if that's even a hot take. Roman Reigns right now is a bigger babyface than Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns right now is a bigger babyface than Sami Zayn. Roman Reigns right now is a bigger babyface than, how about Jey Uso, ladies and gentlemen? They're right now, that's pretty close. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are probably 1 and 2, and they could go either way. Cody Rhodes is number 3, Sami Zayn probably number 4. Like, that's just how we're looking right now. And then we go around, do some shots of the crowd, blah, blah, blah. We get to see some celebrities, which, again, we're in LA. It's the Netflix premiere of Monday Night Raw. We were expecting this. This episode is not for the people that have been watching the WWE since they were 5 years old. This isn't the people that have invested hundreds, if not thousands of hours into this company. That's not what the Netflix premiere was. If you were expecting that, that's you next week. They're going to start going back to us, like the people who have been in the trenches, next week. This week, with all the presentation that they did, the only 4 matches in 3 hours, like, this was more for the new fans. But like, hey, we want to show you The Rock. We want to show you John Cena. We want to show you, we'll get into more people who come up, because the next thing I want to talk about is the John Cena Farewell Tour. John Cena comes out in his blue new attire. He comes on down, slides in the ring like he hasn't been missing a step. Then he cuts the promo. He says a bunch, like, the same stuff that we've been kind of hearing from John, that, hey, guys, my time is up. Their time is now. Maybe that I can't do this anymore. I haven't won a match in over 2,000, nearing 3,000 days, which that to me is just insane that it's been that long since John Cena has won a match in the WWE. Like, I just truly can't even fathom that right now. But then, yeah, he just comes out. And by the way, before I even keep going, let's just pause for a second. I'm just looking at it right now. That ring mat. The Fortnite logo right in the middle of the ring. Don't get me wrong. I play Fortnite. Don't get me wrong. But then I see all those logos just all around the ring. I was just like, this is not a WWE ring. What is this? But new era. I get it. The SmackDown ring has a blue apron now. The Raw ring is black with all these logos. Whatever. It is what it is. All right, I digress. Back to John Cena. So John just keeps saying, just like the boys in the back, the girls in the back, it's their time, it's their time. My time is up. I just don't think I have it anymore. But can I win again? But I hear whispers. Can John Cena become a 17-time WWE champion? The crowd goes wild, right? They just go crazy. They go feral. And Cena's like, well, I just don't know how I can possibly do that because I was planning on just showing up. I do as what I'm told. And then I do as I'm told. Like things like that. So then John says, well, how about if I win the Royal Rumble? And the crowd just starts going crazy. You can totally see Cena's doing this, and it's not even by John. It's from the producers in the back for sure, Triple H, etc. They're trying to gauge the interest on the fans. Are we interested in John Cena winning the Royal Rumble for the third time? He would tie Stone Cold Steve Austin with the most Royal Rumble wins of all time. Austin has won the 97, 98, and the 01 Royal Rumble. John Cena has won the 2008 and the 2013 Royal Rumble. I could see John Cena winning 2025 Royal Rumble match. I could absolutely see that happening. And you know what? As of right now, I think I'm cool with that. The reason why, Cody can go and venture off into other people and for his programs. We can even have Roman Cody 3 at WrestleMania. Or if The Rock is there, we could even do a Cody Roman Rock triple threat for the WWE title. Like, I'm cool with that. John Cena wins the Rumble, him, Gunther at WrestleMania 41. John Cena defeats Gunther, becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion, number 17, done deal. Then we have a John Cena World Heavyweight Championship tour for his retirement tour. Perfect. Gunther can take it off and become a 2-time champ, or he can have a new star come over, maybe even a big-time heel, wins Money in the Bank, and they go and they cash in on John, become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Maybe I don't know, Dominic Mysterio? I'm just throwing that out there. Cena wins the Rumble. Cena defeats Gunther at WrestleMania 41. Dominic Mysterio wins the Money in the Bank. Dominic Mysterio that night at Money in the Bank, or the next pay-per-view, maybe a Monday Night Raw on Netflix, Dominic cashes in on John. Dominic Mysterio becomes the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. We get a Dominic Mysterio, John Cena legit match for Dominic to go over John to retain the world title. And then we go on from there for the rest of John Cena's retirement farewell tour, right? I don't know, though. John Cena is Royal Rumble bound. I think as of right now, John Cena, CM Punk, LA Knight have entered. Oh, and Jey Uso. Those are the 4 of the 30 names that have entered the 2025 Royal Rumble match so far, which I'm down for that. Those 4 out of 30 so far, those are an amazing lineup. Cena, Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso. And I even imagine this Friday night, LA Knight's probably going to defeat Shinsuke and become a 2-time United States champion. Again, sweet. That adds more prestige to the name of LA Knight. Yeah. Then from there, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next part of this, which is Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World title. This match, I'm going to be honest with you guys, Rhea and Liv, for me, yes, they've been going on for a long time. Yes, the feud was starting to get stale. Yes, all of those things are absolutely true. But those two in the ring together, I don't think they've missed yet. Rhea, the way that she sells for Liv, Liv, the way she sells for Rhea, those two are just nearing soulmates in the ring for me. Like, they are just great. I am very happy they decided to do this on the Netflix debut for Raw instead of pushing it all the way to WrestleMania 41. So I feel like at that point, even a good match wouldn't have gotten that over. So just seeing those guys just being able to go out there and have a great competitive match was great to see. And honestly, like the Dominic Mysterio, then the Raquel Rodriguez distractions leading to the Oblivion onto the steel chair and the Rhea Ripley kicking out. Awesome. Then Liv going for the Oblivion again, the Rhea catching her, doing the little head shake, a little bit of a smile, a little bit of a kiss, and then just yeeting her down to the Fortnite logo. That's going to be weird to keep saying. And then right to the Riptide. 1, 2, 3. Ripley becomes the world champ yet again going into WrestleMania. I think she even put a little bit of stank on it. I think she hit back-to-back Riptides just to really put an emphasis on it, which is awesome. Then after the match, we got 2 pretty cool things. First off, Dominic tries to come in, and he just like, first you're like, oh, what's he doing? Then he goes in for the hug. Ripley's just like, kind of like, what are you doing? And then the most epic low blow I've ever seen. Such a good low blow by Ripley. I'm pretty sure she did hit Dom in the no-nos. 1 foot, 2 balls, as Pat McAfee would say. And then she would go and lift Dom up, and she finally hits the riptide that they've been building since SummerSlam of 2024. Yep. It's been, what is that? 6 months now? 6 months we've been waiting for this? Maybe even now 7? Like, it's been a minute. Like, we've been waiting for that. We get the low blow, we get the riptide, we get the celebration of Rhea Ripley. Then, as Rhea Ripley is going up the apron, going up the entranceway, she is nearing the end. Lights go out. Gong. Then the American Badass theme song hits. We have a random appearance of The Undertaker on the Netflix premiere of Monday Night Raw. And then Ripley's just like talking to the camera, just like, oh, this was unexpected. And she's like, I gotta polish up this belt. Like, it's just random stuff, just, you know. And then Undertaker comes out with his motorcycle. He drives around the ring, goes back up the apron. Sorry, I keep saying apron. Goes up the entranceway. And then we get the little moment, Undertaker talking to Ripley. Undertaker's talking her through it. They both do the arm up, look back behind. Undertaker does a stare down of the women's world title because he's going after that belt when he comes back out of retirement. And, you know, good fun time. Good little ending there. Like, a lot of people are like, well, why did the Undertaker come out? Him and Ripley have nothing. Well, I mean, no, but it's the Raw. Again, guys, this show is not for the people that are questioning it. It's for the people like my mother-in-law who in the early 2000s, late 90s watched The Undertaker. She viewed into Netflix and she was watching Monday Night Raw. And when she saw The Undertaker, that was her big pop in the night. Like, it was The Undertaker. Like, that's cool. A lot of lapsed fans, like, they were watching this potentially. I know there's a lot of people that did watch Netflix. I have a lot of people who were talking to me like, hey, like, I caught the Netflix, like, Monday Night Raw. I can't believe this and this happened. That's cool. I really enjoyed that. I was like really enjoying being able to talk to people about WWE. They're like, oh, is it always like this? I was like, well, they did definitely like Netflix it up and it's premiering episode and stuff like that. They're like, oh yeah, no, that makes total sense. And I was like, yeah. So with all that being said, like a lot of people viewed in that wouldn't normally view in, or like I had another friend who messaged me and it's like, yeah, I caught like half the episode. I'm gonna finish the other half later. I saw this and this happen. I can't believe like the Jey Uso entrance was really weird. I can't believe they had a blunt on TV. And that's the next thing we're talking about. Can we believe that they did that? Travis Scott coming out, which, I mean, fine. We all knew a Fiend was going to play. We all know Travis Scott was there. But that new hardcore belt, though, I wouldn't be mad if they decided to bring in that hardcore title as a new title, because that was looking pretty sick, I'm not going to lie. But then I saw that smoke come out of Travis Scott's mouth, and I was like, did he just hit a vape? And then I looked a little bit closely, and I see the blood in his hand. I was like, oh, man. Then Jey Uso comes out. And in my head, I think I even said this out loud. I was like, Jay, don't you dare hit that blunt on live TV before this match. Which I'm pretty sure that Jay discussed that on the post-match or post-show. I'm not sure exactly what he said about it, but oh my goodness, I just could not even believe that was going on. I was like, Netflix is going crazy. They're yeeting all over the place. Then we got to see those guys come out there dancing with Pat McAfee on the announce table before, because we have our next match, which was Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. Now, this match wasn't it for me. I'm just going to be honest. Jay and Drew, I'm not sure if the ring chemistry is there yet. Drew was a little bit awkward, and Jay just honestly isn't a great singles wrestler. I'll just say it. I love Jay. Main event Jey Uso is a great gimmick. Jay should be a mid-carder. He should be Intercontinental United States Champion. Hell, I'm fine if Jay challenges for the world titles. I'm fine if Jey Uso wins the Money in the Bank and becomes world champion. Like, I'm fine with that. But Jay is just not great in these big moment matches. He is with I think the only really good match I've seen of Jey Uso in a single match is with Roman Reigns. I truly think that's it. I don't think there's anything else that I've seen, unless I'm just forgetting something. Because this match just wasn't it. And Drew was just stupid. Like, the Jay collapsed, then Drew goes for a Claymore, then he gets rolled up, 1, 2, 3, then Jay defeats Drew McIntyre. Like, I just didn't hit for me. Like Drew goes on social media later, I had a contact high. Like, it's just stupid. I'll just be honest about that. There's just a few flaws in there. Jay didn't look great. Drew looked stupid. And I just didn't enjoy what I was watching. It was kind of a snooze fest. The crowd was asleep for the match. It just wasn't well put together. Honestly, I hated that Jay Uso kicked out of a Claymore. I'm cool making Jay look strong, but at least like make it so his foot goes on the rope, not that he legitimately kicked out at 2.8. Like, it wasn't even 2.9. It was 2.8, 2.7 on the kick out. Like, it wasn't close. Like, Claymore did not finish off Jey Uso even a little bit right there. And I thought that was ridiculous. I did not like that very much at all. Then the next thing that we got to see, again, like, I'm not even going over all these cameos. They showed so many. They showed other superstars in the crowd. They showed so many celebrities. Like, it was cool. Shout out to Panga. But, like, it was just, like, again, I'm not going to be going over all of that stuff, because if you are curious about seeing celebrities, you can watch the show for yourself, right? Then we had a Gunther vignette, and is that how you say that? Vignette? I'm not sure how you actually say it. I don't know if I've ever said that word out loud before. Huh. That's interesting. Which is cool. Gunther wasn't on the show, which I didn't enjoy. But I did enjoy that they at least showed the world champ, though. Like, that was nice to see. Then we got some cool information. Roman Reigns, WWE 2K25 teaser. He comes out, Paul Heyman saying we need to acknowledge, like, have the world acknowledge you type thing. Roman says, January 27th. And then we get a bunch of screenshots after the show, which was sick. Like, they were looking really good. I actually discussed that over on my other YouTube channel, just NHBard. And just being able to talk about all of that. And then so the 27th, apparently there's something going on with that. And then the 28th, they're going to be doing a little bit more of a deep dive of information as far as what they've told us. So pretty cool right there. Then one of a lot of people's favorite moments of the night, we got to see Hulk Hogan return to a chorus of boos. I thought that was freaking hilarious, man. Nobody wants Hulk Hogan around anymore. That's just so obvious. Hogan, thank you for all you have done in the 80s and 90s. For Hulkamania, for the NWO, thank you for that. But we just can't have someone like Hulk Hogan represented anymore. He's just not with the times. He is not great for specific communities. And I just don't want to see him on TV anymore. I think that's just the honest truth of that. It's still Hulk Hogan. Like, as the fans they started out, the cheer, the singing of song, and then they booed so loud, you could even hear WWE's piped in chants, like, cheering for Hogan. Couldn't even hear that, the boos were so loud. You couldn't even really hear Hogan because the boos were so loud. And then now I'm seeing reports today. How tone deaf can you be? They're like, okay, maybe we bring back Hogan as a heel and have him get over someone. Guys, really? We're really doing this? Like, I don't get it. Then we have the epic main event. I thought this match was great. This was a potential match for WrestleMania 41, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. I honestly thought they did great. I thought they tore down the house. I thought they had a solid 4-star match, a 3.5, 4-star main event on Monday Night Raw. Like, honestly, I thought they did great. The big thing about this, though, CM Punk, my friend, you are 46 years old. You do not need to be doing some of the bumps you were doing in this match. I thought at one point Punk blew out his knee. Another point I thought he blew out his quad. Another point I thought he threw out his back. Like, another point I thought he got concussed by one of the 2 gnarly GTSs by Seth Rollins. Like, dude, he was getting lit up in this match against Seth. And then, of course, we got to see a really bad curb stop by Punk. The camera caught it decently enough where you couldn't see that Punk totally just slipped on Seth's hair. Like, it just did not connect with the curb stomp whatsoever. And then later on, to end the match, we got to see, like, these two just beating the crap out of each other. The announce table spot, I enjoyed that one quite a bit, with the pedigree on the announce table. And Seth probably really banging up his knee on it. Then another pedigree in the ring. So 2 pedigrees, 1 on the announce table, 2 GTSs. I don't believe Seth hit a curb stomp. And Punk's kicking out of all of that, just really making Punk look strong in this match. And then we get to see the epic Jon Moxley style GTS after the superplex was hit. Seth rolled through for the Falcon Arrow. Punk lifts him up, hits a GTS. Seth bounces off the rope, lands back on Punk's shoulders. Punk hits another GTS, stiff as hell. Just plants Seth right in the ear, busting open Seth's ear. And then the 1, 2, 3. CM Punk wins the debut main event of Monday Night Raw on Netflix against Seth Rollins. It was a great match. 3.5, maybe even, I would potentially even give that 4 stars, honestly. I thought those two put it all out there. I thought Punk especially did a great job. Seth is just the MVP of WWE since 2015, man. It's now going on 10 years. Seth is amazing. And, I mean, Roman's there as well with his run, but Seth and Roman, I mean, it's just the Shield. It's just what it is. Seth and Roman are killing it in WWE. Moxley's doing his stuff, being a 4-time world champ over in AEW. Like, the Shield took over professional wrestling when they debuted at Survivor Series 2012. Like, they just truly did. But yeah, that was basically it for the Raw premiere on Netflix. And the next thing that I would kind of want to talk about is NXT New Year's Evil. Now, NXT, I love it, especially what they're doing right now. Shawn Michaels is cooking in there. Like, he's just amazing. And I just enjoy what they're trying to do, especially like that bigger feel. Like, the show opens up with The Rock. The Rock comes out. He is ready to go. And we go into the opener of Roxanne versus Julia for the NXT Women's Championship. These two put on a great show. They kill it. Roxanne, is she like 22 or 23? Like, she is so young, and the Prodigy is so good. Like, I'm really excited. She's now a former 2-time NXT Women's Champion, and the sky's the limit for her, man. I think she's probably going to come up to the main roster. I could see her taking a little bit of time off, honestly, and then she'll come up to the main roster probably after WrestleMania. I could see most definitely seeing her being at the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match as well. It'll be either her second or third Royal Rumble. Like, these two just beat the crap out of each other. Like, oh, I remember, what was that? It wasn't an Emerald Flosion. I can't remember what move that was. But Julia just planted Roxanne on the outside of the ring. And they're both down for the count. Like, it was just so much fun watching these two go at it. And Julia was such a big signing last year. She just showed out. She's been showing out since she's been with NXT. And it's been very obvious. And then another one that I just want to give that shout out to is Cora Jade. Ever since she's been back from injury, her matches, I'll be honest, have not been that good, because I'm not sure if she's really at that point anymore. It's just being truthful. I'm not sure if Cora Jade can really put on those kind of matches. Her growth has been stunted by her injuries, but her character work. Love her character work. And then all that shenanigans happens. Julia hits her finisher, 1, 2, 3. We have a new NXT Women's Champion. Awesome. Then next up, we have the Stephanie, Kalani, Lola, Cora, NXT North American Women's Championship #1 contenders match. We got to see the Stephanie, everyone's most favorite move anyway, before she got kicked and finished off right there. And then just all these girls, like, they did a good job. Like, this was definitely not on par with the first women's match with Julia and Roxanne. I think those two put up a 3.5-star match. This one I probably maybe give 2. Like, it was like a fine fatal 4-way. The right person won. Stephanie defeated Kalani, Lola, and Cora to be able to become the #1 contender. And I think that's just a great thing for NXT right now. Julia is the heavyweight women's champion. And then we also have Stephanie now, who's more likely to become the next North American champion. Hell of a 2 champions setting up in NXT for the women's division. Then we just kept going with the women's division. We had that 6-woman tag match. We had Shotzi, Gigi, and Tatum versus Fatal Influence. I thought they all did a great job. We had some good bumps here and there. The team of Shotzi, Gigi, and Tatum honestly did most of the work for this match, and the babyfaces went over the heels. I would say it was the right thing. I think they needed that win. Shotzi, Gigi, and Tatum all needed this win. Fatal Influence can just be a heel faction in NXT, and then they can even eventually win one of the titles. They could feud with Julia later in the year, honestly. I think they could do that. Now, one of the funniest things, this one cracked me up. The Rock and Ethan Page backstage promo. The Rock's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen you, Ethan Page," and Ethan Page is like, "Hello, final boss." Then Ava's just in the background, just rolling her eyes, like hoping Ethan Page leaves. She's just like, "Oh yep, here's my famous dad." It was just pretty funny. And then the Rock's slapping Ethan on the ass as he goes, "Oh, there goes that sweet ass." And she's like, What just happened right there?" The Heritage Cup. I did not have big expectation for this match. The headbutt low blow spot on Dempsey was pretty funny to me, honestly. Because no, that is not something that would end the match, right? Because it was unintentional. Then we had those guys just going at it. Lexus King would defeat Charlie Dempsey and become the new holder of the Heritage Cup, which I'm not sure. I got kind of confused by this because NXT has not been super clear on this. Did Lexus King become the new Heritage Cup winner? Because I thought he already had it. Because he won by, I believe it was disqualification, so that means he would have already won the Heritage Cup, correct? So I was a little confused with what they were doing there, but I think the right person won there. Lexus King needed that win. I would love Charlie Dempsey and William Regal to start doing something. Maybe even have, if Regal can do it, a retirement match for Regal against his son. I think a Charlie Dempsey, William Regal feud in NXT would be fun. I would very much enjoy seeing those guys go ahead and go do that. Nice little father-son match. Then we had the NXT Championship match, and no, this is not the main event, ladies and gentlemen. We will get to what they did for the main event. It's just confusing. So we had Trick Williams defending his NXT Championship against two number one contenders. We had Oba Femi and Eddie Thorpe. Now, Eddie Thorpe was taken out earlier in the night. I'm still kind of undecided if it was Oba Femi or was it The Rock, like, right? Because he had done that whole thing with Ava. They went at it. It was a decent match. Oba would pin the champion Trick and become the new NXT champion. Loved it. I love that Oba Femi, former, did he win it back? I can't remember now. Former NXT North American champion. Now he is his NXT champion. I could see Oba as that guy. 2023 he was North American champion. 2024 North American champion. 2025 NXT champion. Main roster 2026. I think that's kind of Oba Femi's projection right now, which that's totally fine. Now let him be NXT champion. Let him do his thing and rule NXT through 2025 before you have an ultimate babyface that can take the title off him. I'm not sure who that is. Trick needs to be a main roster call-up. He needs to be up after WrestleMania. I really do think that. Now, the main event. I don't know how to feel about this. Because The Rock can't decide which way he wants to go. It was Dwayne Johnson Monday. Then it was The Rock on the final boss on Tuesday. Like, I just don't even know how to feel about this. Because it's giving me whiplash. It just really is. Like, I just don't know what he wants us to think about. Like, do you like Cody Rhodes? Do you like Roman Reigns? Or do you like, you're 20 steps ahead of us, but we don't know where those 20 steps even are looking because you're not looking one way. You're looking two different ways. You're singing these guys' praises. You're drinking tequila with them. You're putting the Ulafala on Roman. Like, it's just now you're cutting this promo on NXT. It almost felt like The Rock saw the negative reactions on social media after Raw, decided to go to NXT on Tuesday and say that we're all a bunch of marks, that Cody crybabies are this and that I'm only here because of blah, 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 blah. Like, right? Like, I just didn't really understand it. I didn't know why The Rock needed promo time on NXT. I was totally fine with him doing the intro. The Ethan Page promo was hilarious, but then he comes out and does this, and now I'm second guessing everything. Is The Rock going to be at WrestleMania 41 this year? Is it going to be Rock and Roman? Is it going to be Rock and Cody? Is it going to be Cody, Roman, and The Rock? Is it going to be any of those? Is The Rock even going to be at WrestleMania 41? I have no idea. I'm getting worked here. I don't know if it's a shoot, brother. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I'm kind of curious what everyone thinks about this. Like, how do you feel about The Rock? Because right now, I'm undecided. I need more, but now, is The Rock going to be back next week on Raw? Or is The Rock done now for a while? Will The Rock be at the Royal Rumble as a surprise entrant? I don't know. It's just kind of a fascinating thing. But I digress. Monday Night Raw, premiere on Netflix, NXT, New Year's Evil were very good cards. All in all, putting biases aside, they were. They both accomplished what they needed to. WWE premiere on Netflix, they catered to both fans. The lapsed fans, the new fans, and the every week in the trenches fans. They did that. The matches were solid. The promos were okay. And all the extra stuff wasn't for the diehards, right? NXT New Year's Evil. We got new champs. Julia, new NXT Women's Champ. Oba Femi, new NXT World Champ. We have Stephanie as the new number one contender. We had The Rock on the show. We had Lexis King, now the official holder of the Heritage Cup. Look, so many things happened, right? And I'm pretty excited to see where NXT is going for the summer. Like, Stand and Deliver is going to be amazing. And also the Royal Rumble, February 1st. I can't wait to see how we do for that. But that will be for another time. Well, wrestling fans, that brings us to the end of our first episode of the Wrestling Bardcast. It's been an absolute blast diving into the Netflix premiere of Monday Night Raw and breaking down all the action from NXT New Year's Evil. I hope you enjoyed the ride as much as I did. Like, this honestly is just so much fun for me, being able to discuss and talk professional wrestling. This is just the beginning. Wrestling is a world that never stops moving, and I'm going to be right here, breaking it all down, match by match, storyline by storyline. Next week, we're going to take a closer look at everything. Raw, NXT, SmackDown, just the road to the Royal Rumble as we're really getting going. But before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What did you think of Raw on Netflix? Did New Year's Evil live up to your expectations? Drop a comment, hit me up on social media, whatever you need to do, because I would love to hear from you, okay? I also will be posting in future episodes feedback from listeners, comments, stuff like that. You'll be getting name dropped. I'll be reading comments, and I'll be discussing that kind of stuff. Most importantly, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that damn bell, and share the Wrestling Bardcast with your fellow wrestling fans. And hey, if you're feeling generous, leave me some notes, okay? It helps me be able to give you guys a better listening experience. Thanks for tuning in to the Wrestling Bardcast, where the bell rings and the stories come alive. Until next time, I'm Bard, reminding you to always fight the good fight inside and outside of the ring. Take care. I'll see you next time.